everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our special event, CTC Data Talk. That is Data Talk with the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing. I am one of the co-directors of the California Teacher Residency Lab, Jacqueline Allison, or Dr. J, affectionately known as, I guess. And then our other co-director is here. I'll let her introduce herself.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gina Perry. Nice to see you all again.
Yes. And so we want to thank you all for joining us today. Essentially, you're thinking like, why are we doing this event? Well, one of the things I want you all to think about or to know is that there's been a huge investment in teacher residencies over the last few years. Millions and millions of dollars, almost $1 billion now, I would say. You added up all of the funding. And it's really important that all of us who have been entrusted with these grants or the care of these grants or the technical assistance related to these grants do our best to show that this investment is worth it, right? The impact, that we can communicate the impact of this investment and that we can work together to do that. And so data is a huge part of that. Right? People are looking at the numbers and they really want to make sure that we are doing our best in that respect. So with that, today's objectives for today will really be to understand, see if I can get this to go, understand why teacher residency grant reporting data is collected, when and how to collect it, and how the data can be used for continuous improvement and communication. You'll have time to network with other programs and to energize your partnerships around these ideas that we'll share. And then you can also have a chance to collaborate with your residency team members. And so here's our agenda for today. We're going to have our grounding, which we're doing now, a spotlight story from current urban teacher residency. And then our featured guest, CTC, will share some really important and exciting info with you all. And then just as a reminder, we are the California Teacher Residency Lab. Our vision is that California's powerfully prepared, diverse and thriving teacher workforce advances educational equity and justice, providing the learning supports that ensure every student reaches their full potential. And here we are building, our mission is to build a system of teacher residencies in California that transform the teacher workforce. That's our goal, right? We emphasize residency to residency support, as well as serving as a conduit for you to access a ton of quality, stellar, effective technical assistance support. With that, okay, joining us today, we have current urban teacher residency, and you'll hear from the speakers in a little bit, and you also have the Commission on Teacher Credentialing, and we'll talk with our folks there in just a minute. All of our work is grounded or rooted in the characteristics and evidence of effective teacher residency programs. This is something that we developed, right, with the lab, and it serves as a framework for all of the technical assistance and support that we offer. Okay, in particular, today's topics really focus on equity and justice, authentic partnerships, and the collection of data, formative data, summative data, and how that supports and helps you improve your programming. In a minute, you'll be able to see, we're going to have a link to all of the resources for today, and you'll be able to click on these characteristics for a little bit more context around that. Okay, we also like to utilize these norms or the ways we prefer to work together, right? And so you can just take a minute and look on the screen here. We have several, right? This is a safe zone. So you should feel free to speak freely and honestly and maintain a safe and respectful environment for all of us here. We ask that you listen actively, pause before responding, be open, right, to new ideas, to new thinking, to new questions. and recognize the different learning styles, communication styles, working styles of everyone in this space. We ask that you work together. So whatever it is that we're asking you, wherever it is that we're asking of you in this space, we ask that you just like trust the process and go for it and engage. It'll make it the space that much better for you and for everyone here. And then, of course, empower the facilitator. One of my personal favorites, something that we like to say here, because you know how it is. Sometimes it's tricky to do this work, and we just want to make sure that everyone, all of our speakers who are sharing, have as much love and support as possible. So I'm going to ask you all to take a quick moment, scan these ways we prefer to work together, and just type in the chat which one resonates most with you. Which one are you going to practice today? For me, I think I'm going to focus on working together. What about you? What are you going to focus on? Go ahead and put those in the chat for me. Awesome. A lot of active listening. Appreciate that. Good. Yeah, that'll be important because so excited to hear from our presenters today. Lots of good tools and resources for you. Okay. While you're doing that, we're going to skip ahead. We're going to go to our connector. Okay.
Good morning again, everybody. Welcome. And yes, we are here to talk about data and more than just compliance. How are we leveraging this data, as Jacqueline said, to tell your residency story? This data will also tell us why we're investing in teacher residencies at scale and why it's such a great investment, not just for the state, but for your local communities. The data collected should be utilized in a way that meets the needs of the grant, but that also shows your internal and external partners how your residency programs are producing highly effective, diverse educators that are meeting your student needs. So when the impact is communicated out strategically to show the positive results, those from the district and community will want to maintain residency programs and invest in them. So I want us to take a moment, get out a piece of paper, just something quick to write on. We're going to take a minute here. And I want you to think about just a quick one bullet point here. How might you use data to show the impact of your residency program? So here's the question. What might be something your partners would want to see in order to fund residency programs in the future? I'm going to say that one more time, and I'll put it in the chat. What might be something your partners would want to see in order to fund residency programs in the future? So throughout today, you're going to hear from Bakersfield as well as CTC, and you're going to come up with more ideas about what types of data you need, one, for compliance, because that's very important for our grant, but also how do we leverage that data that we're gathering for compliance to report our impact out as well in order to reach sustainability. So I'm very excited to have Bakersfield here today to share their story about how they leverage data to tell their residency story in order to work towards a sustainable funding model. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome Holly and Valerie.